I just came back from Vogue Knitting Live in New York, and I wanted to share with you some of my impressions and things I've done and people I met and things like that. If you're new to my channel, my name is Irina. I'm the host of this channel. I usually interview different fiber artists from all around the world. And when I go to festival, it's my chance to meet some of the guests of my channel and hang out with them and get to know them better. And Vogue Knitting Live was no exception. So this year I decided to splurge and get a Big Apple package. So the package included 4 classes, 2 lectures, invitation to the Friday night cocktail reception sponsored by Go Sadie. And also Saturday night, there was a gala dinner. It also included some goodie bags, and I'm going to share it all with you in a bit. So I arrived on Wednesday. I came with Merit from Butzeria. She is a designer from Switzerland, and she's also a co-host of Swiss Yarn Festival. And we came together. She visited me in Boston. We came together on the train on Wednesday, and I actually went to see my son who lives in New York. So we went out for hot pot dinner with him and his friends. And Thursday, I started really early. So Thursday, I had 2 classes. The first class was with Sophia Talley. It was design your own half pie shawl. And I'm actually thinking of doing just that and designing my own half pie shawl sometime in the future. It was very informative, and Sophia showed some of her designs. If you don't know her, just check her out on Ravelry. She is also Drunk Knitter on Instagram. And she's super fun instructor, very engaging. I enjoyed that class. After that class, I've met for lunch with Alicia and Jared from Great Southern Yarn. They're yarn dyers and manufacturers from Australia. And I met Alicia last year. They were both guests on my channel. You can watch that interview on my channel. And also Bridget from Cowgirl Blues, who's been a long-time friend of mine now, joined us. And it was a very interesting conversation. I loved seeing dyers combine their knowledge and exchange some information. It was actually really heartwarming to see people who supposedly competition exchange some knowledge and like know-how with each other. So that was lunch on Thursday. And then I went for my second class. The second class was with Faina Goberstein. It was called Slip Stitch Lace. And it's a very interesting technique that Faina actually developed. And she's creating her own stitches. And it was just fascinating to watch something that she's so passionate about. And I really liked the way she explained things. We got to knit some small samples in this class. It was very engaging. Thursday night, I asked some of my friends to meet me at the bar in the hotel just to reconnect, to see each other again. And some people brought their own friends, and I got to meet new people. There were so many of us there. It was sort of this mingling conversation when you talk to one person and then you go to the next person and you meet some people and you discover what they do. It was really lovely. We were there till wee hours in the morning and I got to have a lot of very interesting conversations. It's always like the best ideas are born in those informal settings where you just chat about something and then you think, wouldn't it be great to do this thing? So I'm hoping the universe was listening because I was putting out all my dreams and wishes out there. They still have those. Friday morning, I took class with one of my favorite Fiberchat stars, Dario Tubiano. Dario is an Italian designer who now lives in Amsterdam, but I think he's moving back to Italy again. he is an expert on embroidery on knits, and the class was about embroidery on knits. I have actually never tried embroidery on knitting, so it was very interesting class for me. And he was complimenting me, so I guess I managed to do what was expected in that class. I can definitely see myself trying it again at home. I now have all the supplies that I need, and Dario taught all the basic techniques that we needed to know to create whatever masterpieces we feel like doing. After lunch, I had a class with another star of Fiberchats, Keith Leonard. Keith is a yarn dyer from the brand called Yarn Snob, and he's also a master finisher. So the class was about ultimate finishing, and basically like all you need to know to finish your sweater, let's say, like how to sew the shoulders seam together, how to insert your sleeve, all those things. So it was extremely informative. I learned so much, and Keith is brilliant at explaining things. And also he had a little bit of technical troubles because the computer suddenly stopped working. There was some issue with the wiring. So while the team from the tech team was helping to reconnect the computer, he switched to low-tech version, and he was explaining everything by drawing it and showing it to students. And I think it was so smoothly done that people didn't even understand that he had technical trouble. So it was really beautiful to see him in action and to see how he teaches. He was very engaging, very friendly. People seemed to have a great time, and they definitely all learned a lot. Right after the class, the marketplace opened for a few hours. And so I got to stroll the floor and meet some vendors that I haven't seen before and see some old friends there as well. Just stalking it.
I've never seen such a thing. This is so cool.
Yeah, they're Japanese machines.
Wow.
You don't ever have to worry about what crash time.
After visiting the marketplace, Marriott and I went to a cocktail reception sponsored by Go Sadie.
New York show, Knitting Live in New York. Yes, thank you so much for being here, everyone. For our VIPs, we have a great night planned for you. Welcome to the Go Sadie Game Night, sponsored by our amazing Go Sadie team here. They're all going to come up here to welcome you and have some great games. So Michelle, come and take it away from Go Sadie. All right, give a warm welcome to Michelle, everyone.
Welcome to game night. I'm really excited. When we started working with VKL, they said that it was a cocktail reception, and I said, that seems like it's missing something. So we turned it into cocktails and games. And we're really excited about that. So we're back for our second year in a row with cocktails and games. I'm going to tell you quickly about Go Sadie, about us.
Very rewarding. Yeah. Well, she was very. She did mine earlier, and one fell out completely. Replace it, just in case. Sheena does a really good knitting class, but have you seen the berry?
It was super fun. They had so many different prizes. The prizes were sponsored by Knitting Fever, and I got to see Anthony there from Knitting Fever. They had bingo games. They had a really cool goodie bag, which I'll tell you at the end about. They also had great appetizers, and you could get some drinks there. So we really had a good time. And then we went back to the bar. So the bar wasn't about drinking necessarily. It was more about reconnecting with the friends and just talking and learning more about each other. So we were back there and with some new people. I don't think I got more than 5 hours of sleep that entire weekend. So we were there a lot for the long hours and just chatting and discussing all the things. So Saturday was the day when I was going to just enjoy the marketplace and the fashion shows. It started at 10 o'clock. And for the first hour, everybody was required to wear masks to help people who have some immune problems to enjoy the show as well. The very first fashion show of that day was Beyond the Hook Crochet Fashion Show. And it was hosted by Britt Garber and Angela Tong. And it also had designs by some of the stars of Fiberchats. They were designs by Alex Moore, Anna Campos, Roseanne Fleischauer, and Dominique Cavia. It was wonderful to see their creations there. So much imagination, so much skills, and just very different items. So here's a little peek at that fashion show. Another fashion show that I was really looking forward to see was The Knitted Kingdoms by Shirley Payton. And Shirley was also a guest of Fiberchats. You can watch that episode on my channel. She does the designer workshop, and it's sort of like a boot camp, and the designers come up with the most incredible ideas. It was so beautiful to see all different kinds of designs. There were three different parts. There were cables, collar, and lace. And in the lace section, there was another star of Fiberchats who I met very early on. Her interviews, like one of the first interviews, Inbal Gross. Inbal just grew tremendously since we first had that conversation. It was lovely to see her there. And I have to show you the cardigan that she embroidered, especially for Vogue Knitting Live. Inbal said about that sweater that she knitted a little girl who knits an animal that threatens her, because knitting helps us undo everything and move on, and that regardless of the roaring of this animal, we will continue to knit and to create. I was so happy to see Inbal there. We had some great time talking, reconnecting. It's been a while since I last saw her. So it was another very lovely reunion. I want you to see some of the beautiful creations that were part of Shirley Payton's fashion show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everyone? Good. Are you ready for some fantasy, technology, and design? Okay. I'm Michelle Payne. I'm your host today. So let's get started. Welcome to the Knitted Kingdoms Fashion Show. The Knitted Kingdoms is an upcoming trilogy of books and films that will take us into a fantasy world where we will observe the adventures and challenges of 5 members of the royal family in each kingdom that have been chosen to achieve the wisdom of the crown. These pieces seen here today are by those designers that have been selected to transport them and us through these adventures. We open with the Kingdom of Cables. .
Charlie Payton's fashion show, I decided to explore the marketplace. And because the fashion show was on the 6th floor, this is where I started. So I just strolled around, like filmed a few booths and talked to some people. And then I got to the 5th floor, and suddenly I discovered a flood. So I don't know exactly what happened, but there was water coming from the floor. There was a crew trying to collect this water, and fans going and some drills going, and there was so much noise, and they were trying to prevent the water coming to the vendors. The smell was also not very pleasant. And there are a lot of vendors that were affected by that. First of all, because they were like really close to that area where it got flooded. And also because the flooded area was at the very entrance to the showroom. So you basically, to get to some vendors, you had to go through the labyrinth of the entire festival because one of the entrances got closed. And the cleanup was going on pretty much the whole day on Saturday. So a lot of vendors were very upset about what was happening. Obviously, it has nothing to do with the organizers of Vogue Knitting, and some bad things just happened, and the Marriott team was trying to clean it up as efficient as they could, I guess. They also at some point just put fake walls to sort of cover that area, so it wasn't that obvious of what was going on. But there was still a lot of noise from the fans blowing and the vacuums going. So it was really destructive. You might remember my episode about the last Woolen Folk, where I interviewed some of the vendors affected by the horror story that was that festival. And I talked to some of the vendors afterwards, and they said that the community really came forward and helped them and reached out and bought more yarn from them. I want to encourage you to do the same thing for the vendors of the 5th floor, because a lot of people were just escaping to the 6th floor and avoiding 5th floor because of all the noise and the mess there. So I want to ask you to take a look at the map of the Vogue Knitting Live, see who was on the 5th floor, and take a look at their websites, because maybe you can help them by buying their yarn online. It would be a very nice gesture to help those vendors to recover some of the losses they all had because of these unfortunate circumstances. One of those vendors who was the closest to the flood was Bridget from Cowgirl Blues. She's also the star of Fiberchats. So take a look at her yarns as well. Saturday afternoon, I had a very exciting and a little bit nerve-wracking event. So a few weeks ago, Erin from Morehouse Farm reached out to me and asked if I would like to collaborate with her on their natural merino lace yarn. So of course I had to say yes, and I came up with the design that you might have seen. It's a very generously sized wrap. It's called Sway With Me. And so the premiere of Sway With Me was taking place at Vogue Knitting Live this year. Vogue Knitting Live had a very interesting spot. It's called Farm and Fiber Meets Farmer Market. So there were 5 farm stands: Clean Kashmir, Hudson Valley Textile Project, Morehouse Farm Merino, Simply Shetland, and Yankee Rock Farm. And they were part of this project. So another part of this project was to have a presentation of my show. So we talked about this beautiful yarn that Morehouse Farm has, about their flock, how it all started, about the design, and how you can wear this shawl. And if you would like to get that shawl, it's now available on Ravelry. if you use the code SWAY, all in capital letters, you get 25% off till Valentine's Day. So take advantage of that. You can also get the kits in all different colors for this shawl at Morehouse Farm website. And I'm so grateful to all my friends who came to support me during this presentation. It was so lovely to have all these familiar faces taking pictures of me and clapping and supporting me. It really felt a little bit surreal. I'm still having imposter syndrome about telling that I'm now a designer. I understand the difficulties that other designers go through now much better now that I try to design. But it's also a very exciting journey, and I feel like my brain is on fire, and you might expect to see some more designs from me this year. After the show, I decided to just explore the marketplace and to go and see what the vendors were selling. So here is some footage from the marketplace. Love that llama pillow.
Styling the things, and then she's like, well, she can never reach up top anyway.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to be opening the marketplace doors right now. Thank you to put your masks on.
Hi.
Additionally, if you don't have a mask, please come to one of the doors and we'll give you one.
8 and then downstairs for dinner. There we go. On Saturday night, there was gala dinner. And during the gala dinner, Jared Flood, the founder and creative director of Brooklyn Tweed, was giving a presentation. It was really interesting. He was talking about his upbringing, about his childhood, about his love of photography, and basically like his struggles with business and his dreams for the future. After the presentation, Nara from Netflix had some question and answer session with Jared. There was also a raffle drawing, so a lot of people won really cool yarny prizes and needles. There were a lot of different sponsors of this event, and we all got a goodie bag to take home, which was extremely generous goodie bag. After the dinner was over, well, you guessed it already, we went back to the bar and we had some snacks, we had some drinks, but most importantly, we were talking and discussing some of the ideas for the future and just hanging out with friends. So my favorite part of that whole festival was the amount of time I got to just talk to some friends and like get to know them better and come up with some interesting ideas for the future. I was planning to leave late on Sunday, but the snowstorm was coming and I decided not to risk it. So I changed my tickets to very early in the morning on Sunday. So I missed the last day of Marketplace. And unfortunately, I didn't get to buy pretty much anything because I left it for the last day. However, I brought home so much stuff as part of this package. So yes, the package is expensive. It's cost about $950. To buy the package, you get to take 4 classes, 2 lectures, be part of the cocktail reception, gala dinner, and you also get 3 very generous goodie bags. You probably all want to see what was in those goodie bags. So let me show you. So the first VIP goodie bag that we received, it was part of the buying a package. You would get the VIP goodie bag. This is what the bag looked like. It says Dream Knit Love Knitting, Wool Knitting. And in the bag, there were 2 skeins of yarn and this beautiful hummingbird color. So it's a sport weight, 190 yards per 100 grams, worsted spun, 3-ply, 20.5 micron fine merino. There was also a greased hat pattern. So the pattern was part of this package. A little brochure about Brooklyn Tweed. There was a book called Knit, Crochet, and Crochet Blankets by Brooklyn Tweed. And another book I'm very excited about. It's Vogue Knitting Lace. 30 bold and delicate knits. So I'm very excited to study this book. Can't wait. The second goodie bag that we received was this Go Sadie goodie bag that we got at the cocktail reception. And in that bag, I mean, there was so much stuff. They had some Nora magazine in it. They had some stitch markers. There were some mini skeins. There was some Eucalyptus samples. There was this cute Go Sadie nail filer and pen and some needles. So like a lot of little goodies and even some game there. This Go Sadie or not. I also want to thank Alicia and Jared for bringing me this beautiful gift. It's a sample of their yarns and we all got to sniff it because it still smells like sheep. Thank you so very much. It was very generous of you to give this yarn to me. It's beautiful, and I'll make something very special with it. Thank you. And then the biggest bag was at the cocktail reception. It's actually super heavy. So inside of that bag, there was the Likey bag. There was a Brooklyn tweed bag. We also got this book. This was one of my favorite things. It says, "Dear Yarn, I'm ready." And it's by Katya. And inside of this bag, there was this beautiful skein of yarn. It's cashmere, virgin wool, and cotton combination. Just look at these colors. There is also a pattern for make your own cowl. And then there were these very cute little hooks. There was another pattern by Anna Campos for the universal striped slouch. You can see it here with some stitch markers and some stickers. And then there was yarn, like lots and lots of yarn. So African expression yarn, this is the 78% mohair and 13% wool and 9% nylon. There was also this Rowan sock, Pearl Soho note, which is the 80% extra fine merino and 20% alpaca in this beautiful pink sunrise color. We had this sample of African expression yarns try. There was Manos del Uruguay skein, another skein of Bossa Nova by Circulo, and this is worsted 100% superwash merino. I love this color. There was also Universal Yarn Henna, 50% baby suri alpaca and 28% merino, 22% nylon. There was this Pearl Soho linen quill, 50% Highland wool, 35% alpaca, 15% linen in this heathered kind of dark color. And the one that I was really excited about is Via Knitter's sparkling cotton. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. It's like very subtle, but I really like it. So I don't know, I might make something with it. You might have just seen my interview with Deborah from Penny Lane Yarn. So she sent some yarn with Merit to give me as a gift. And I really love this color. It's so beautiful. It's like butter. Really lovely. This is 70% merino superwash and 20% silk and 10% cashmere. Thank you so very much, Deborah. Really beautiful. And also Merit brought me as a gift these two beautiful skeins. So they different weight, but it's the same material. It's cashmere, 65% cashmere and 35% silk. You guys, if you could just touch how soft it is. And I love, love, love this color. So Mary, thank you so much for coming. And thank you for bringing me these wonderful gifts. And thank you for being my partner in crime and my companion. I truly had the best of times. I don't know if I'm going to do another package, or maybe next time I'll just try something more a la carte. I don't know, but this was my third time at Vogue knitting, and I really had an amazing time there, flood and all. I also want to thank all of you who came to me to tell me that you like this channel. Thank you so very much for your kind words, for your support. It means so very much, because oftentimes I just think I'm sitting in my office and I'm talking to my camera. So it's so nice to hear that you guys love my channel and that you enjoy those interviews and you enjoy this stuff I put out there. Thank you so very much for watching this recap. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. And till next time, happy crafting.